Hey, this is Box Cutter back with the Game 3. I had a problem with my first game. This recording was skipping and kind of looking funky and out of focus. And the same problem I had with Game 2. It was out of focus. There was no skipping, but I fixed both of those problems. So the rest of the video should be okay to watch. Got my drone out like I did before, pretty much like I always do against Protoss. I get my drone out there and hide it, and just trying to kill this probe, harass this probe here. Um, but hide that drone out there works like so much of the time. That drone's almost at 2 health, so I had to move it. And just moving it across the mining field like that makes it really hard for them to target it. And he thought it was that one on the end, but it wasn't. So now I'm going to move it again across. And I don't want him to kill that drone. Two reasons why I don't want him to kill that drone. Obviously, I don't want to lose a drone this early on in the game. But the main reason is it's a moral victory for him if he does kill it. It just hypes up his confidence in the game because I wasn't able to save that drone or whatnot. So a lot of StarCraft obviously is a mental game. If you feel confident against the player you're playing against, that makes a big difference. If you don't feel confident or you got nerves going, then that makes a huge difference in your game. Here I'm just going to standard build. I'm going to get this drone out there, and it's already hotkeyed. Get it out there and get my third hatchery down. He seems like a semi-decent player because most players would not be able to do that much drone harass while building, but it seems to have affected his game a little bit because he looks like he got his forge up a little late. I'm assuming that. Um, but also, again, I made a mistake in this game because I should have sent my overlord to scout his natural gas, because he did take his natural gas early, and if Protoss player takes their natural gas early, that only means that they're going to be going reverse air. So I didn't do that. I made that mistake, and I'm gonna make my Zerglings chase this probe around just to make him micro a little bit more. One thing I also didn't do here is you can make the Zerglings go up next to the probe, and then as soon as the probe attacks it, then make the Zerglings attack, and that way the probe doesn't run. And sometimes they won't have a quick enough reaction, and the probe will actually die. I made that mistake here. But here's just standard stuff. I got my gas going up, and I'm not going to be able to kill his drone because he has decent probe micro unless I make more Zerglings, and I don't want to make more Zerglings, and I'm going for a standard build with Lurkerling, so there's no real reason for me to get his scout out of my base at this point. I mean, it'd be beneficial for me if I could do it, but I don't want to sacrifice the larva to make Zerglings to get it out. And so that really, I mean, yeah, he's going to be able to see everything that I'm doing, but I'm really just going standard play. I'm not trying to cheese him. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. So, I mean, he's going to be preparing for a standard game. And at this point in the game, he's already preparing for a standard game as it is, because really at this point there's nothing else I could be doing. I got my evolution chamber down. I'm getting my +1. Or I'm going to be getting my +1 as soon as I have enough gas. And the reason I got my layer first is just in case. I mean, as far as Protoss versus Zerg goes, upgrades are huge. But the reason I got my layer first is, I mean, I didn't see his forge spinning early enough, so there's no real reason for me to get carapace that quickly, because I don't think he's going for a +1 rush, and I don't know exactly what he's doing at this point. As you can see, his forge still not spinning, so there's no real reason for me to get the carapace upgrade before the layer at that point. But just here making drones, just constantly making drones, trying to get my economy up. And I'm gonna get my layer up and get my lurkers out and try to set up some type of a contain and take my third base. And here I made a shitload of Zerglings. And the reason I did that is because I killed his scouting probe, and I can only see 2 cannons at his base. And if he is going something like reverse air, then he's not going to have enough zealots to defend against this. He might have enough cannons, but that many Zerglings isn't going to make or break me here. Also, I need to try to see if I could do like some type of a run by here and get into his base and scout what he's doing exactly. And as you can see, he's putting up more cannons here. So that's indicative of Reaver Sarah. And I saw, as I was going in, I saw the robotics bay, and I can't get into his base, so I'm going to try to kill as many of these cannons as I can. I got one Zergling into his base, and I'm going to try to kill as many probes as I can. I think I got 3 probes, or something like that. I'm not sure, but try to get my 3rd expo up here. I'm going to have lurkers coming soon. This isn't really the best build to do against Reaver Sarah, obviously, but right now I'm committed. You know, there's really nothing else that I could do. All I could do is try to contain and maybe try to harass his economy a little bit before he gets observers out. If he gets 2 Reavers beforehand or whatever. So that's basically what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to harass his economy as much as I can. And I can see he's got Sarah out here trying to harass my overlords, and I'm keeping most of my overlords in my expo. That one just spawned, so, and then I'm gonna send that to my expo as well. +1 rush hasn't come. Obviously it's way late. If it was gonna come now, it's too late because my lurkers are coming out. But here I'm gonna send all these lurkers and the wings outside of his base, because I noticed that he put the cannon and gateway in front of his cannons, or I mean he put the forge and the gateway in front of his cannons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to kill that forge and that gateway to open up some type of a hole for later on when I push in. So here, burrowing him right outside his forge and gateway. I see a cannon going up here, so I'm going to try to take that out before it comes up, and it comes up too early. So, and this range on these cannons, as you can see, he's pulling in his zealots, and a lot of them die. Now I'm trying to get in on range on this forge, and he's hunting my overlords right now, which is making life miserable on me because I can't produce any units. So I'm having trouble right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my build up and try to get Hydralisk speed, which I've already gotten. I'm already upgrading it as we speak. So, or if I'm not, I'm going to be doing it here in a second. But here I'm just going to switch to Hydras because there's nothing else I could do. I'm forced to. I mean, Hydralisk speed, and then it's too late for me to right now try to scourge any of his Corsairs, because by the time I get the Spire up, he's gonna have a shitload of Corsairs, and it's gonna be real difficult. You got to do that real early on in the game. You got to scout what he's doing exactly. That's one mistake I didn't make. That's one mistake I made. So I'm gonna get my Spire up now just so I could scourge shuttles. And here, don't be afraid to push in. I mean, he's got 5 cannons here, basically, and I got a shitload of Zerglings and some lurkers, and you're gonna see how quickly 5 lurkers can rape cannons, or I mean six lurkers or whatever can rape that many cannons. I mean, these cannons go down like nothing. Yeah, I lost a shitload of units, but now his expo is disabled. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get my Hydralisk, and I got my Overlord speed already. I'm gonna try to get my Hydralisk going, and the reason I got my Overlord speed is because if the game went later, I wanted to get drop or something along those lines. And here I'm gonna move into his base, and he has a Reaver. And bad thing for him is he's got this Reaver on the ramp in range of those lurkers, so that Reaver goes down. And now I'm just pushing Hydras, and I got all my hatcheries rallied outside of his expo. So I'm gonna try to push in here, and I'm gonna try to make basically move this move this Overlord over here by the ramp, so my lurkers can attack the Reaver as soon as it comes out, and also attack those zealots. And he's got his observer right there, which first thing I would have done is picked off that observer, but I want to get in here and make sure as soon as that Reaver comes out that I'm gonna kill it before he gets Scarabs up. And there's a shuttle goes down, and his Corsairs are going down, and everything is just, life is miserable for him. Reaver comes out, dies, game's over. As soon as that Reaver is dead, the game's over, and there he goes, he leaves.